Alright. Let's get started. The summary was like a page and a half. Last week's.
That means we did a lot.
Did a lot, yep. Last time on Curse of Strahd. You beheaded a guy. He is without a head. You deliver Isaac's head to...
Sorry, I'm back.
You deliver Isaac's head to Lady Wagner's spy. Irina returns to the church, kind of thinking about the events that transpired. But that night, when you were in your room, the objects in the room began to shake. The window kind of fogs over. And the words, "Help Victor, please," are written in the foggy glass. Worried about Victor's safety, you head over to the Burgermeister's mansion in the middle of the night, where Victor is in his workshop, apparently still doing stuff. You sneak in there, where he admits that the ghost that's been haunting the Burgermeister's mansion is actually the spirit of Stella Wagner. You met her kind of in a dazed state at the Wagner house the days before. But he is a friend of hers, and they were experimenting with a transportation circle to escape the mist of Barovia, which backfired. And while her body was momentarily in the ethereal plane, her soul got ripped from her body by a creature known as a gallows speaker, and kind of an evil amalgamation of bodies that get created when a area has a bunch of violence happening all at once. But he believes that this gallows speaker is going to absorb her soul entirely within the next few days when the full moon happens, and he's been unsuccessful to prepare a etherealness spell so he can enter the ethereal plane and rescue her. But with you here, he devised a plan. With a Night Hag's Nightstone, he'll be able to cast the etherealness spell. But to do that, you need to find a Night Hag. Which, again, very coincidentally, there seems to be one roaming the outskirts of Valaki village. So, after the following morning, Lady Wagner has made the new Burgermeister of Valaki in a surprise abdication, at least to everyone in town. And the refugees are let back into the town. One of the refugees, a man named Franz, you discover sold his 2 children to Morganatha, the old crone that was selling the dream pastries to the refugees. He had no money to pay for the pastries, so he sold his children to her. After regretting it and demanding she return his children, he passed out, and ever since then, which was a couple days ago, suffered these horrible nightmares where a haggish figure with horns was kind of sucking the energy out of, like, the soul energy out of him, and with children weeping in the background. You conclude quite correctly that Morganatha is the Night Hag that Stella saw in the ethereal plane. Still continuing. Confronting the Night Hag and their potential coven, though, could be kind of dangerous because Night Hags can transport to the ethereal plane at will. So, if you don't want to strike a deal with the Hag to let you borrow her Nightstone, you're going to have to dispose of them, and to do that, you have to bind them to the material plane, which Victor does not know what to do, or Victor does not know how to do that.
And keep in mind, he was going to do all of this himself and not ask for help.
Yep.
All of it. Every single piece. Every bit.
Vogelsuch will never let him forget.
I will never let him forget that.
But Stella has seen a similar similar spell around the borders of Wagner House, which leads Victor to conclude that Lady Wagner may have a way to perform the ritual. But she is not the biggest fan of his, because he was there when Stella kind of went brain dead. But you agree to...
Really brain dead. She's more soul empty.
Soulless, yeah. Just wandering around.
Yeah. Soul free. She has no soul, not less soul.
Yeah.
Diet soul.
Crystal soul. Caffeine free.
That is where we left off.
So I believe that we, as a party, got some hags to talk to.
With our fists.
I mean, we could just try and make a deal with them.
Okay.
Why not?
Do you, I don't know, someone that just deals with, like, actually selling children, and I don't know if I have stuff to make a deal with them.
Well, if you think we can kill them. Hags can be quite powerful. If I am the product of a hag's magic.
That would be really hard fighting, like, multiple Vogelsuches.
On a good day, on a bad day, they just miss all the time.
I've been there.
They don't have their lad legs.
But maybe if one of them created you, maybe they're also the ones who killed you.
I'll have to ask them. To be sure.
Alright, so we need to ask her for help with this, mostly just to try to get at least even the playing field a little bit. We should probably if we start off with her daughter, it may end up bringing up questions that we don't want to answer about how it happened, where she currently is, all that stuff. If it comes to it, but for now, let's maybe try to get her agreement simply to help out with a hag trying to sell dream pastries to the town. She probably really doesn't want that alone.
She seems like a very by-the-books lady.
She's also a politician. She just got into power. Maybe this will be a good PR move for her.
Literally, like, a few hours ago.
Victor said, please show her where his daughter is.
Yeah, but I believe Victor said that, like, if you can get her to remove the protection, then Stella can like prove it herself. Because
Right.
like the protection is what is why she can't enter her own house. It's like a shield within the ethereal plane that's blocking things from it to get into Wagner House.
Yes. And then she can like possess her own body.
So why don't we are we trying to just kidnap her body then?
I think we just need the spell gone.
Well, if there's a war to get around the house, if she's no longer in the house, will that
What?
work?
I think we need to do a separate spell to put her back in the body, not a spell
Okay.
we're unaware of. It's just for her to materialize or make it so her mother can see her. She can't as long as
Okay.
that spell is up.
I see. Okay.
I think it was like she can probably like enter her body or something like that if she can get in, but since they never let the body out of the house, then she can't reach the body.
She's also like not a ghost. Her soul was literally just trapped there. So she's not like a, a traditional in real life ghost.
So, if we do get, so then we have to ask her to let her daughter out of the house, get rid of the ward, or move the daughter physically from the house.
I'm gonna say you're doing
And
this
then
in
we
front
can
of
at least
Victor.
get
I'm
the.
gonna say you're doing this in front of Victor. He goes, well, first we have to get the Heartstone, and to do that we need Lady Wagner's help. We can worry about the.
One thing at a time.
We can worry about we can worry about the details of how we're going to do this before. How we're gonna accomplish this after. He goes, I didn't think that we might need her actual body. I thought, oh, gets more and more confusing the more I think about it. How did I ever think I could do this by myself?
That's what I was saying.
Right. So let's focus on getting her to help us out fighting the hag.
How can I expect to be a great wizard if I can't even open a simple portal to the afterlife?
Well, you can't. That's the neat thing.
I believe this is a situation of high expectations or great expectations. You need to lower them a bit.
Yeah, I think it's like pretty much only archmages can do that sort of thing. I think.
Well, I said afterlife. It's the ethereal plane, a little different.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Dimensional hopping in general.
I do think I can perform the spell. Or, no, he can't. That's the problem. No, wait, yeah. He can perform it, he just needs a Nightstone. So. And I can accompany you if you wish. I think maybe I can sneak out the window past these guards watching the house. But I don't know how happy Lady Wagner is going to be to see me. It may actually make it harder for you to help her, for her to help you.
Well, if you're with us and we've been reasonable and tried to help her out a bit, maybe it'll be enough that it'll even it out and we'll just be on a neutral playing field.
Well, you're on her good side now. I don't think you want to be neutral.
Well, maybe if you stay here and if we need you or if she's got questions for you, we can come to you because that way, you are following her orders and you are peacefully sitting here in place where you're supposed to be, as opposed to going behind her back and sneaking out and then going to her to ask a favor.
Makes sense to me.
Do as you say. I'll continue reading up on the spell, see if we missed anything.
All right, we may be back if she demands to see her daughter, or once we've killed a hag.
Well, let's get started.
See a look of determination on Stella's face as her body leaves the mirror, like walks from the edge, out of the edge. Stella will fall shortly behind you as far as she can.
Can any of us see into the ethereal plane?
I don't think so.
That's what. Oh, as a character.
Yeah.
Grude, no reason.
Yeah, that's why not.
He does
There's
everything
a couple of
else.
spells There's a couple of spells and abilities that do allow to.
When you Misty Step, you go into the ethereal plane for a split second.
Oh, no, that's blink.
Blink. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you stay in there for a full turn before you teleport back into the.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Like 10
Misty
seconds.
Step is instant. But if you want to head over to Faulkner House,
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I suppose.
more as you go to the town square, more refugees are getting settled in. Irina is still there, handing out blankets and things like that. Right. You are at the front door of Wagner House. As you get there, the door actually opens, and you see a few guards people walk out with reading over some parchment. It's they're kind of talking to each other about new work schedules and the such. Seems like Lady Fiona's wasting no time reorganizing the guards. One person goes like, "Oh, I can't believe I've been promoted to captain." One guy seems really upset. And it's like, "Oh, I like saying the catchphrase, all will be well. Think we can still say it?" It's like, I don't know.
I'll turn to that guy as he walks by and be like, "All will be well, soldier."
He gives a little salute. All will be well. Another person goes, like, wonder what happened to Captain Isaac. I don't know, just kind of disappeared.
Minerva just kind of like pulls at the neck of her shirt and like,
But you are greeted by Harik, the butler, before the door closes. He goes, "Oh, are you here to see Lady Wagner?"
Yes, please.
Yeah.
She is quite busy today ever since the transfer of power. You can make a schedule for you in a few days' time once she has everything in order.
Perhaps she could make room now for those that helped her. Consider it a favor that we wish fulfilled. Just straight up just be like, "Hey, we helped this. She'll understand that. We want to talk."
Yeah.
We have an idea of how to put her in even greater standing with the people in town.
He goes, "I see. I know you're running an errand for the lady. One moment, you may wait in the parlor."
Thank you.
I'm assuming that like nobody's really around.
There's
now?
actually kind of a lot of people around.
Okay.
Like I said, like there's some people of importance in the town.
Okay.
You can see like she probably got finished like speaking with all of them. Things like that. Yeah.
So I'm gonna lean into, I guess, Vio and say, do you think we should bring up that this has to do with the safety of her daughter at any point?
Probably if we can't get her to agree purely from the hag problem. If she really wants to help this place out, simply just getting rid of the dream pastries and a night hag should be enough. But if we can't get her cooperation with that, then yeah, we'll probably bring that up.
Okay, good.
Some time passes. You realize she's probably pretty busy. But eventually she does enter the parlor. And she goes, "Well, I wasn't expecting to see you again all so soon."
Things keep... this is a busy day, as you well know.
Oh, it's very busy, but I can make a few moments for those that helped me obtain my new position. I'm sorry I couldn't make it more clear about my gratitude in my speech, but it'd be better if the people of Vallaki did not know of the nature of the Baron's downfall, I should say.
Best with subtlety, yes. In fact, we We basically come to offer you a way to probably make your the people of Valaki endear even more to you, actually.
Will be an uphill battle. I was never the most popular figure in town. I think with time they'll come to respect my way of thinking and doing things. But she kind of like looks at a pocket watch and goes, "But I have a moment. What is your idea? Let me entertain you."
Are you familiar with dream pastries?
She goes, lets out a sigh. Goes, "Well, yes, I heard that a number of the refugees got addicted to these dream pastries."
And not just them, but the citizens within town as well. Quite a few people have been subjected to them, which have apparently a very bad influence upon them.
It's like, I wasn't aware that they made their way inside of town. She goes, perhaps it was a guard smuggling them in. Or, I guess nothing's stopping the citizens from coming to the gate.
But
It's like
we found
She goes, rest assured that the sale of these dream pastries will no longer be allowed within or outside the walls of Valaki. They are obviously enchanted, addictive, and dangerous.
more dangerous than you know, in fact.
Well, yes.
It turns out that we have discovered that they are being produced and sold by a creature known as a Night Hag.
I see. Do you have evidence of this, or it's just a
Only-
suspicion?
Nothing conclusive, but enough stories from people that have interacted with her, as well, and corroborating that evidence, but nothing we can simply hand over at this moment. But what's imperative to us is she is also taking children, in which we are hoping to go and rescue shortly.
Taking children.
Well, in a way. She is apparently causing people to get addicted to these dream pastries and then making deals with them while they're under their influence.
She goes, yes, I'm aware of the machinations of hags. She ponders a moment. Me and Baron Vikalovich disagreed on a lot of things, but one thing we are in agreement of is that whatever lies outside of the walls of Valaki. We shouldn't concern ourselves too much with what lies outside the walls, as long as we keep ourselves protected. Rest assured that this Night Hag will not be allowed inside the walls. I'll conduct a search of the refugees and the people of Valaki for any of these dream pastries. Confiscate them and destroy them.
I'm afraid that's not how addiction works. Cold turkey. Generally not. And like, there's already some kids missing that we're gonna go try and find. Maybe. I guess the damage is kind of already done. If there's a way that we could.
I could perhaps
Go ahead.
say. She goes, I can conduct a search of the surrounding areas, and you are under your own prerogative to find these children, and I honestly do feel for the parents and the children for this.
Uh, Basically, to be direct, we are hoping to get your assistance with. Well, you seem to know the danger of hags, but we are hoping that we can get your assistance with removing one of their most difficult obstacles of their ability to phase out of reality, and we were under the assumption that you may know some kind of protections that may negate that ability.
He kind of looks directly at you, Vio, unblinking, and goes, "What gave you that impression, Mr. Vio? That I would know such a binding ritual?"
Kind of just puts his puts his arms upward and kind of like glances around the room in a like look around us kind of fashion. What protects this house?
She gives a little smirk. He goes, "You're not incorrect. I'm just curious about how you came about this information. It's not something that's freely available."
Well, we do have several magic users in our group, and it is not difficult to notice the signs of such protections around your home.
She goes, "Well, you must know about the protections. When I was a young lady, I was away from home for quite a while, studying under my mentor, Liza. When I returned, I found my parents were killed by something otherworldly. I used what I learned from Liza to erect the protection, so the spirit couldn't return."
A wise idea, and I am sorry for your loss.
She nods. Goes, "Thank you."
But we do not ask for anything as grandiose or permanent as that. If you perhaps know of any temporary way that we can put up such protections to allow us to fight this hag, it would be very much appreciated.
Binding ritual is a very complex piece of magic. Requires several trained magic users. She goes, "Simply don't have the resources to spare at the moment for your little adventure. I have important business to deal with here in town. I think my time will be better served. Smooth transition of power. Make sure these refugees find proper shelter."
Very well.
I think we've just got to say it, Theo.
Yes.
Minerva's interrupting.
There is another reason you may wish to help us go after these hags. She is in possession of an item that can restore your daughter.
She pauses for a moment and goes, "I'm listening."
Minerva? No.
Well, it's hello. Well, the thing is,
Minerva,
we need
hello.
we need to get something called a Nightstone from her. And well, learning about hags seems like we either have to make some sort of ridiculous deal, which the only one I've experienced led to a man giving away his 2 children. I don't have children to give, so I dread thinking of what they'd ask of me. Or we can just simply brute force our way through. But as we are now, we'll most likely be on a fatal expedition, as they can go in and out of the...
Yes, I understand your predicament, but what does this have to do with my daughter and her illness?
Well, We believe we may have seen your daughter without her body. And so, in order to put her back in her body, we will need this Nightstone.
Outside of her body. What are you implying?
Her soul is no longer attached to it. It is roaming free at the moment, as from what we can tell.
And we've all seen her.
I knew that Balakovich boy was up to no good. What did he do to my daughter? Should have him arrested right now.
He's actually the thing making sure your daughter is still safe.
He found the solution to fix her.
And from what I've seen her, she's quite fond of him. Even when we can't hear her because
How did you see her? What happened?
she's in mirrors? Throughout elsewhere in the town. She says she's been trying to get back into your house, but the spell you've been using to keep away the deadly spirit has also been keeping her warded as well.
You're saying
wants to show herself
my
to you.
daughter is trapped in the ethereal plane.
Yes.
And somehow Victor is responsible.
I don't think any of us have said that Victor is responsible. He is the one protecting her from moving further away.
He is the one trying to restore her.
And Vogelsuch is just making shit up to just protect Victor. Just to make that clear.
Let's say I believe you. What proof do you have?
There are either two ways that we can prove it. You can either remove the wards from this house, or you can allow your daughter to step outside. And we may be able, she may be able to speak through her body.
I think Bio's just kind of hoping that works.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the way it was describing from the because otherwise, like, what's the point of her coming into the house?
Because she can materialize in reflections.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, well, why don't we just take the mirror to her?
We'll have to be outside the house. So if we can either get Lady Wagner in the forget the last name, Victor's place, or we get her place open.
Otherwise,
so she can come in.
otherwise we just find a hand mirror somewhere.
Because I do believe Victor said that she'd be following us. So she might be waiting right outside for you to lower the ward. Or if we have something reflective, maybe we can just all step outside and look and see if she's in the reflection.
That.
You're like going back and forth, like all the different options, and Lady Wagner goes, I can momentarily lower the protection. She
Grude,
goes,
do you have any full-length mirrors and or pots and pans? Those seem to be her favorite.
any spooky windows?
Oh no!
Anything with a big crack in it.
I got rid of all my full-length mirrors last week. Ah, had to sell them for extra cash.
The silver in the back, they found it.
She goes, wait a moment. And she leaves the parlor. So you're left alone for a minute.
Goes off and flicks a switch.
The lights flicker, yeah. System deactivated. The roller lights go on. But she returns after a moment, and she's actually holding a scale model of Wagner House, like size of like a not
Like a dollhouse?
well, smaller than a dollhouse, but
A diorama.
yeah. She places it on the table. So only take a moment. She places her hands on the table next to the model. Says a few words as she does a incantation. The candlelight in the room and the fireplace like flicker a little bit. He goes, "The ward is momentarily deactivated."
All right. Here's your time, Della. Should we go outside and tell her? Can she hear us right now?
Just nothing happens for a moment. Stella's like looking around the room, like something's supposed to be happening.
She should appear.
Hope so, anyway.
This was your ideas of a sick joke. I am not amused.
No, we really saw her. I guess I'm gonna run outside and let her know.
That won't be necessary. I'm very busy today. I appreciate your concern about the dream pastries, but
Minerva yells out, "It's off!"
as Lady Wagner gets up to escort you out, but as she does, a flower from a nearby vase, a peony, kind of lifts up from a small glass vase, and it floats across the room, and Fiona is just watching it wide-eyed, and she sits back down, kind of shock, and the flower sits in her lap.
Only Stella ever picked up flowers. It must be her.
She's actually was holding a glass of wine when she was talking to you, and she drops it in surprise.
They never learn. That's why I practice. You see what we mean.
She goes,
Minerva, she heard you.
Oh, good. I didn't think that would work at all, but I panicked.
"This was Stella's favorite flower. She adored them." And the little pieces of glass begin moving on the table, and they form a crescent shape. She goes, "Looks like Luna. Luna was a cat when she was a child. Favorite pet. It had fur markings that looked just like that."
Are you convinced?
It is
Wait.
Stella.
Tell tall tale? We were being truthful?
"Stella's... that you?" And the candles flicker in the room.
I would, Vogelsuch would like to see if he can just do some sort of general insight check, because this is very, magic show con man-y. May I do that to try and be like, wait a second, there's somebody around the corner pulling strings.
I mean, you definitely look around.
Well, I want to see if I can do this from the insight. Does anything feel wrong about this, or does it make sense?
Well, I mean, it's wrong in the sense that a ghost is manipulating things.
As far as we can tell.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll just take it as that.
You can tell that she was upset by the accusation of, the story before, that she was actually, concerned. If you think she's, in on it, if that's what you're thinking.
It's somebody else trying to, My initial thought as a player was, somebody else around here is trying to put up a facade for some reason and is using this as an opportunity to make that happen. But
Well, the butler cast invisibility, and he's just
yeah,
standing there.
something like that. But if it's not out of the ordinary for actual medium talking to ghosts type things, then I will.
This is the
say
kind of
that,
thing that was happening within the Baron's house. Things moving on their own. And like the room does like get cold when this happens.
Yeah.
Should have
I
said
like
that
the- I like that we did this and caused it, and then Vogelsuch is like, I'm skeptical.
too. Yeah, it's a little too
Well,
convenient.
One other thing is that they did have magical wards up to ward off, bad things. This is part of the bad things.
At this point, the butler does open the door and says, my lady, I heard a crash. I heard a glass shatter. Are you hurt?" And she looks up and goes, "Oh, no, Halleck. Sorry. It's an accident. I'll take care of it, don't worry." Yes, my lady. Heartstone, you say?
Yes.
Or a spell, I assume.
Yes. Apparently, how he described it is, there is something within the ethereal plane that is keeping her there, and it will allow us to fight it.
Not really keeping her there. It's just like dangerous to her.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's trying to consume her.
You have my full support. Saying I'm a bit out of practice, a binding spell is a powerful piece of magic. It will take some time to procure the individuals I need to perform such a ritual. Do you know the location of these hags?
The windmill on the road towards the castle. What was the last name of that family again?
Durst.
Durst, right. The Durst Windmill.
Won't be as easy as just performing the ritual, though. I will need to know the true names of the Night Hags. And me and my associates will be in... If any of us are in any way immobilized, when the spell is up, then the binding will fail.
Oh, goody. Well, there's a problem. We don't know the names.
You say there's children in danger as well.
At least 2.
It would be wise to rescue them before the ritual is put in place. She kind of puts her hand in her head. What a morning.
Sorry to add to your schedule.
No, if it means I can have my Stella back, then I'll do whatever it takes. I will meet you at the east gate of town. East gate of town. 4 hours time. Should be able to reach the Durst Windmill by dusk. Make whatever preparations you need.
Very well.
I have work to do. I guess my duties as Burgermeister have been delayed somewhat.
We won't keep you a minute longer than needed.
Miss Colliana, at least, seems to be taking care of the refugees in the meantime. But my attention's there. And she's like, starts murmuring to herself, like, making plans. She goes, oh. Stella, if you can hear me, I'll leave the barrier down from now. But when I leave in the afternoon, I'm going to recast the spell. Make sure you're not inside. And the candles flicker again. See a little tear go down Fiona's face. I believe you're just in one of the other rooms. But you're not really there, are you? You're right here with me. Saying, don't worry. You'll be back here before you know it. And she kind of looks down at the mess, spilled wine, and goes, I believe I made a mess. Oh, she claps her hand. Halleck, change of plans, I do need you. And she kind of escorts you out of the room. You do see Nikolai Wagner kind of in the hallway. He goes, oh mother, what's all the commotion? She goes, never you mind, Nikolai. Make sure Stella's well taken care of. Tell your brother that too. Oh. Yes, mother. He kind of eyes you. Not suspiciously, but it's like wondering what's going on. You're back.
Gonna try.
Yeah.
Curious.
And you're back town square.
It's the happening place to be. Nothing else happened in the town. How's Blinksy doing?
He's crying in the on a bench.
He's somehow already bankrupt.
He's like buy one get one free Morning Lord decorations. Buy one get two free.
The absolute mental decay of the poor man.
You see the fishmonger kind of sit by him, like pat him on.
Spiders with every purchase.
You see the fishmonger guy like sit beside him, put a hand on his shoulder, go there, Blinsky, have a fish on the house. Oh,
Maybe I could hang it up like a decoration. No, I can't.
What if I make it sing on the wall?
Here's a little song I wrote.
Blinsky's Picolo's there, like a little organ grinder playing a sad song. At least I have you, Piccolo. I wonder what happened to that nice man, Rictavio. He's gone too. He was my only friend. At least I got his monkey.
We should leave before this becomes any more depressing.
This is like the definition of pathetic. Like it's invoking pathos so hard.
Rank load.
I know we do weird toys, but it's still, it really pulls at your heartstrings. Knowing that we may have helped. Okay, we did do that to him.
And the little monkey is playing a mini accordion and doing "How can this happen to me?"
Yeah. There's some people riding the streets just stealing Blinksy's toys.
Oh, I should have gotten them insured. Oh, okay. Back to hag stuff. I guess the next step is to find and confront these hags. Do I have that right?
We've got to get those kids before we get the ward. But it seems like we can't fight them directly, so we might have to sneak in and steal them.
Are you sure that we'd be able to do that? Have you seen us?
Well,
We do
You
kind of
have-
stand out.
it's a good point.
I do believe you're going to need my help. And Victor kind of walks up behind you. Yes. Apologies, I managed to sneak by the guards.
Turns out if you just put a box over your head and then crawl around, they can't find you.
It was
Just
an
Metal Gear
ordeal
Solid
getting. Yeah, it was a bit of an ordeal getting down from the third floor. But I think it was quite adventurous. I'm like a proper criminal now. Woo!
We call it adventurer.
If you're an
Yeah, that's
adventurer,
right.
it's not illegal.
If you're ever thrown in prison, then you know how to get out.
He goes, was reading more about hag covens and their lair. You might need use of my magic, especially if they're able to dispel whatever protections you're doing around the windmill. I assume that you got Lady Wagner's approval and she agreed to help us?
We did. She knows that you're trying to help her, by the way. We tried to just get her to agree, do the dream pastries, but she just was going to block them from town, not go after them. But she knows everything now.
No, I was sure that the teleportation circle would allow us to escape the mist, but it's like my
Okay, so we didn't tell her that because that was too much detail for any of us to remember.
Also, we weren't going to outright tell her that it's your fault.
I think she already suspects as much.
Well,
But
she
I was
Yes.
I think we might have been a little foolish to even think that the mist would let us escape.
it probably
all by yourself.
probably the same thing happened in that which happened if you actually physically try to leave the mist.
Is there anything in town you want to do before you meet Lady Fiona at the gates?
I was trying to think of that, of what we could do to prepare, but
Do you have any money to spend, or you want potions and things like that?
I have 2 whole gold because as a scarecrow. Oh wait, what do we got in the see what we got in the where's our shared inventory? There it is. We got a couple of silver barbs, a coin pouch for buying a gift for all those. Just the pouch left. We got a Random silver bracelet, which we're not going to sell. Yeah, we don't have that much money. At least
I've got
shared
10,
money.
10 gold. But I believe potion is closer to 50.
25, maybe 50 if they're scarce.
And
I've
then-
got 38.
If only Romaia was here with her passive income.
She's gonna buy the Baron's mansion by the end of this campaign.
We passed by the tavern, and next door there's a place with neon signs.
Romaya's place. Say, we just gave her a room here. Pays for itself. Brings in business.
She's really good at what she does.
Yep. This is kind of like more in character for Romaia. Like, getting here, not going on adventures, just like, well, I'm here now, let's just make some money.
None of us started out as heroes. We weren't adventurers of any kind. We were just in a bar and then wandered out and
Yeah.
got stuck in a house.
Well, I gave you. Well, I said it's like, being adventurers might be a good idea, but if you want to go kind of the more normal person route, then that could work too.
Yeah, because you all were kind of like, I would watch you use weapons and stuff, so this is kind of the first time in my head is where Minerva's actually using her own weapons. She usually gets other people to test them for her, and she takes notes.
Yeah.
But now she is the guinea pig.
But remember, you do have those new silver weapons and armor.
Yep.
Got it as a reward.
I think I remembered to equip it this time.
Yeah.
No.
Right, so you... Oh, look at the wrong thing. You have nothing to do in town, then you meet Lady Wagner at the East Gates a few hours later. With her, though, are 4 individuals in robes. Like standing behind her as she's waiting at the gate.
It's that book club.
Knitting circle.
No, that's the other, the ex-baroness.
These are the associates I mentioned. It took a little while to gather them all up from around town. And they have their faces kind of hidden in shadow.
Well, what will you need from us here on out?
Well, to perform the spell, I'll need the... Well, at first she sees Victor there. And he's kind of like trying not to be seen. Yeah, but like, she gives a nod and says, Master Volakovich, I believe I heard you're trying to help my daughter Stella. Yes, ma'am. Said, I expect you to give it your all. Yes, ma'am.
Believe it or not, he was actually intending to do all of this himself before we showed up.
He seems quite devoted to your daughter.
Lady Fiona raises an eyebrow. Victor goes, we've had a secret friendship. Or a not-so-secret friendship. It's like, oh yes, I knew all about your friendship in her visits to your house. If you can help me save my daughter, then consider that making up for whatever mistakes you made. He kind of gives a bow and goes, thank you. At this point, a crow actually flies in from town and lands on Lady Fiona's shoulder. Not a raven, a crow. So.
Friend of yours?
Same mind.
It's like, well, this is Majesto. He'll be joining us. Majesto gives a caw. Saying, oh, is the scarecrow scaring you, Majesto? Can't be that scary if you were able to land so close. Are you sure you're a proper scarecrow? At this point, you're like walking down the trail.
Sorry, I was reading something, but I don't think that. Well, I'm proper scarecrow in the way that I am made of straw and scarecrows. If I were in a field all alone.
Well, this crow doesn't seem very scared of you.
I think he specializes in ravens.
Scare
I-
Raven. How ridiculous.
I scare humans and humanoids most of all, it seems.
Or just make them feel awkward.
During our dinner, the subjects of these scarecrows came up. I'd indicated that I was somewhat familiar. Same.
Yes,
I can see in your
Very-
dead
right.
eyes that you might be curious.
Yes, well, I'm interested in two things, and that's twice as much as I was interested in last week. One is who killed me. Two is now who made me a scarecrow. Or a revenant, as it were. I get more information from the latter than I do the former.
If you want my opinion, you are definitely not a construct. Closer to a revenant. I'm sure I think you've already discovered that. Figure that out for
I-
yourself.
Indeed, I have. Do you know of any other such scarecrow, revenant constructs, anything of the sort?
She goes, I trained under a wood witch known as Liza, who often animates scarecrows as protectors.
I don't think I've been protecting a single person. Well, this group, but not as a protector, as more of a compatriot.
The revenants of Barovia, on the other hand, were all members of the Order of the Silver Dragon, who operated out of Argynvostholt, further into the valley.
We still plan on visiting there sometime.
I'll have to see the sights.
Vogelsuch takes out the broken pendant that he has of the silver dragon that's always cool to the touch. You mean, that be related to this symbol? Insignia?
Their order
Wait,
died
have I
out.
ever seen that before, Vogelsuch? Have you brought that up before?
I think we've taken it out once or twice, as
I-
Joey has reminded me once or twice that I had that as a my trinket.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, I forgot you had that.
The revenant that we ended up running into across the bridge ended up bringing it up, I think.
Right.
Yeah, he had something similar. She goes, the order died out centuries ago, before Barovia entered the mist.
I don't think I'm hundreds of years old. Hundreds of days, not even hundreds of hours, maybe.
Perhaps there's something in between. Or something different entirely.
A unique and beautiful snowflake, perhaps?
I'm not even sure if it snows here.
In the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes in the mountains, make a Mount, I think it was Baratok. Oh, that was the lake.
Here's a map.
There's a wonderful ski lodge up there that Strahd goes to.
Yeah.
Into the chalet.
private ski lodge.
Everybody that works there is also a scarecrow. Yeah, a little bellhop scarecrow. And...
Mount Gakis. She goes, it lies to the south. You remember that, that the elf you met at the Vistani camp. That's where he got his frostbite.
That's right.
Saying that, she also goes, he's get closer to, sorry, I'm remembering the town names.
Ovia. That's really the only town name I constantly remember, because it's the name of the area as well.
This map doesn't actually label things. You had Kresk
You got the
and...
player map.
Yeah, you had Kresk and...
Make something up, Joey. Make a canon.
No, I can't make up a town in Barovia.
And just have it be destroyed.
Okay, yeah, Perez is the destroyed town.
Yeah, that's
Kresk.
the destroyed one.
Yeah. He goes near Kresk. You often see snow.
And it melts.
The map doesn't actually show snow, but all the art I got has it snowing. Like the third-party art from a...
Everything has to feel like cold and gloomy.
Yeah.
So,
But the map
Kinda
itself
weird
doesn't
looking
have a
drum
snowy area.
mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kresk is the Riften of the area.
It's a snow level. As you're walking, you hear a rustling in the trees above you. A gaunt figure with wild hair and bare feet crouches on a thick, gnarled branch above your heads, wearing a tattered gown of stitched animal skins. Red streaks run across its cheek, with two more fang-shaped streaks staining the skin beneath its lips. It stops, sniffs the air, and laughs like a lunatic. "And little songbirds wandering into the dark woods?" it asks, leering down at you.
Perception check to guess what this is.
Give me a perception check. I put a token on the thing.
Roads on it.
12. What is it, Professor Grude?
16.
It is a man.
Wow.
With wild unkempt hair, dressed in animal skins. Lady Wagner kind of puts her arm out and goes, "Be on your guard as a druid of Yesterhill."
Yesterhill?
It's like, yes, order of druids live there. They are loyal to the Dark Lord. She calls out, "I am no songbird, child of Yesterhill. You know me and my sign. Do the forest folk demand tolls to travel the Savage Woods?" The druid's eyes linger on Majesto, and they reply, "No tolls, dear one. More curiosity. You keep strange company, daughter of Mother Night." Lady Wagner replies curtly, "My company is no concern of yours. Trouble us no more, and tell your master that the House of Wagner remembers its debts." "Debts indeed," the druid rasped. "But to whom, this one wonders?" With a mud-stained grin and cackle, they vanish into the trees and disappear from sight.
Well, that was charming.
Sorry about that.
Just a bit of diplomacy, I'm assuming.
What debts of theirs do you keep, if I may ask?
Oh, Mother Night. I'm afraid that druid was a little, information is not so up to date. When I trained under Liza, a follower of Mother Night, I was never quite able to hear the voices. I'm now a worshipper of Ezra, the goddess of the mist. Certainly not Mother Night.
Another deity of this world?
She goes, this is all around us.
Mother Night.
Oh, Mother Night. She nods, like many worlds, I suspect. Her presence is exceptionally strong here. Do you have any shadow gods in your realm where you come from?
A few. I believe there's one that's one of also tricksters and I think murder too, but a bunch of assassins follow them, I think.
Gods here in Barovia are mostly nameless. Maybe in your realm they have names attached to them. Perhaps you too have a Morning Lord and a Mother Night.
We do have a Morning Lord, actually. It could also be that it's just been so long, people have forgotten the names.
That could be true. Looks up at the shadowed sky. The Baron was a fool, and I do not blame him for wanting to see the sun, but over the years I've learned to embrace it. Say, it's given me the power I have today. Not many follow those beliefs, and she gestures to the robed individuals. But some do.
Good to know.
Does my loyalty to Strahd... I'm just curious, does my loyalty to Strahd disturb you?
It
Or,
would depend.
my family's loyalty to Strahd, she said.
I think it would depend on, like, what the loyalty would require.
I don't answer to him. As
Then
far
no.
as me individually. But Strahd is the steward of this land, and the ultimate ruler of it.
I can't really see you being able... You or just about anybody being able to say no to him if he demanded something. Not without...
Not without
not-
the result of death or worse.
Yes, not without consequences.
That passage from my family's history, you were able to read it.
Yes.
That debt that Druid mentioned. One of my ancestors, Leo Dilicina, was with the resurrection against Strahd. But another one of my ancestors, the one that wrote the book, sided with him. Cursed my family name, as if he had such power. Wonder what became of him.
I'm sure we'll never run into him. Stares at camera.
Raises eyebrow. They say his body just disappeared.
Well, in many ways, the body can go without leaving any evidence of its existence. Fire, for one.
I'm sure Strahd punished him greatly for his uprising. Victor's taking notes. This is fascinating.
Well, that's. Thank you for bestowing this knowledge on us.
Rest assured,
I know it's
I
a
am not
long
gonna...
walk, and we.
Yeah, rest assured, I'm not going to hand the town over to him.
That's good.
Insight check.
Wink. Short insight check.
15.
Yeah, I mean, she mentioned before that she has no plans to oppose Strahd, that she's just going to be good tenants, basically.
Neutral is better than allies.
Yeah. But, like, the reason why the Baron's family didn't like her is because of that past history.
I could, like,
I don't
probably.
think you don't think he liked anybody.
That's probably what, like, kept, like, keeping people alive, seems to be if you're just kind of on his, like, not killer side, you know? So I think, like, maybe it's a good idea for the goodness of the people. I know it's not ideal, but...
So, the trip to the windmill takes about 2.5 hours. You travel a familiar path they used to go from Barovia to Wallaki.
Less silver. Al's shooting silver at us, though.
The old Salvage Road transitions here from being a winding path through the Veiltalk Mountains to a lazy trail that hugs the mountainside as it descends into a fog-filled valley. At the heart of the valley, you see a walled town near the shores of a great. This is describing Wallaki. Sorry. A branch in the road leads west to a promontory, atop which is perched a dilapidated stone windmill. Its warped wooden vanes stripped bare. This is around when you first met Morgantha with her cart. The onion-domed edifice leans forward into one side, as though trying to turn away from the stormy gray sky. You see a gray brick wall and dirt-covered windows on the upper floor. A decrepit wooden platform encircles the windmill above a flimsy doorway leading into the building's interior. Lady Fiona goes, "We'll remain here. You can deal with the hags however you wish. Just remember, you must acquire their true names." Victor pipes up. They probably have a contract hidden somewhere in the windmill. Hags are distrusting of each other, so they enter a infernal contract with each other, so they can't betray each other. They would have to sign that with their true names. He kind of beams a little.
So they are Fey lawyers. Good to know.
Please do your best to try to rescue the children. Hate to use them like this, but they might provide a bargaining chip. Not that I wish you to bargain the contract with them, but if they know that you are in possession of them, it may lower their guard a little. Victor goes, "And I have spells that might be of use."
Which ones?
Well, I have a number that I prepared this morning. He says I'll have to save some of the higher ones. If they try to dispel the protection, then I have to save my counter spell. Saying, but I do have a greater invisibility. If you want to be sneaky, I do have fly. A fear. That won't be so helpful. Misty Step, I can only perform that on myself. Yes, the greater invisibility. The fly may be useful.
Greater
Those do
invisibility.
sound very handy.
I feel a hag would be able to see the invisible. Just a hunch.
Could be. Or they might not.
Well, I intend to use it during the battle, so I stay out of sight. Since this is greater invisibility, I will still be able to aid you with spells and attacks.
Providing they cannot see into the invisible.
Hopefully you keep them occupied enough. They won't notice me.
Fair enough.
But the windmill is 3 stories tall. Windows pretty accessible. You can't imagine that they'll be difficult to get into.
All right, everyone, let's go rescue some children and find a piece of paper.
I'm sure the hags will just, they'll understand when we go explain the situation. They'll be super embarrassed and completely understanding. Right?
Yes. And then they'll invite us in for tea.
Yay. I don't drink tea.
Unless the tea killed me.
Then I shall tea kettle it to kill it. Nah, it doesn't work.
Let's go try and break into a windmill.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
Right, you're easily enough able to ascend the hill.
Preferably
This
not in
climb was
sight.
so hard.
Get 1 level of exhaustion.
Yeah, that's the hard part. Preferably not in the direction of any of the windows, if there are any.
I think there's windmills like on all sides. One thing you do notice when you kind of get to the top, on the far side of the hill, like on the other side when you go down, you do see a number of megaliths. Essentially like Stonehenge. The stones jutting from the ground.
That's not suspicious at all. Is there, I guess, like, can you do it like an Arcana check if that's like hag specific or if it's like unrelated? I guess is
Yeah,
what-
you can give me a history, Arcana.
You want a history Arcana check? 1 second.
Yeah, but it's it's far away from the windmill. It's like on the opposite side of the hill, but you can just get a clear view now that you're up here.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
21.
You're not knowledgeable of, the gods of Barovia, things like that, but this resembles other kind of like nature shrines that you've read about in other areas of the world. They're often known as fanes. You think this might be a dedication to either a nature spirit or nature god.
okay, good to know.
We did just pass by a bunch of druids.
And you've actually noticed a couple of other things that look a little similar. You may recall small stone objects with like carvings in them you've run across a couple times.
I think, yeah, I somewhat remember, I think.
Yeah, you notice that these stones are black onyx. So you recognize like some other stones of similar composition that you've seen in various other places. I think you saw one in the near the lake. You actually saw another one kind of near this windmill when you were making your trip.
I'll keep that in my back pocket for a bit.
Oh, Lady Fiona does, before you leave, does say, oh, if you need use of Majesto, he's at your assistance. And, the crow will kind of fly up from Lady Fiona's shoulder, and with a little puff of smoke, will transform into an imp.
That's why he wasn't afraid. He's not actually a crow.
He goes,
Sorry to deceive you.
Oh, it's no matter. I actually don't care.
What exactly can you do?
so an imp. I'll show you art. Where I put the token on here.
Little tiny.
Little tiny fiend, but does have a scorpion tail.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, scorpions!
Yeah.
Just like that king.
He goes, I can turn invisible, I can turn into a frog. It's great.
So you can turn into things.
I can turn into a frog and a crow and a spider. That's about it.
And nothing else.
I mean, that's more than what I can turn into, and plus he's quite small, so it'll be harder for them to notice.
If you need me, I'll be close by. How close? You never know.
And with a little puff of smoke, he turns invisible.
Okay, then, I guess keep watch. Warn us if something sneaks up on us.
He's right by your ear and goes, "Will do."
Waves at the side of his head like a mosquito and buzz it.
If you plan to do combat with the hags, he might prove useful. And don't worry, if he dies, he'll just come back like an annoying little cockroach.
Hey, I heard that.
But hopefully Fiona gives a little smile. Say, we're gonna find we'll wait a safe distance. Not far from here. She points in a direction.
Good idea. I'm assuming this took place after before we went up the hill.
Yeah, I forgot to say. But
Okay.
yeah.
We're just on their doorstep and they can hear everything through the door. As we're saying it all.
They'll never know we're here.
Could you conspire a little less loud, please?
Oh, sorry.
We're trying to play bridge, which is very hard because there's only 3 of us.
So it's confirmed you don't know there's 3, but it's probably likely.
Now
So
they know our numbers.
There's actually 4 of us. Coven of 4.
Nobody ever sees a coven of 4.
Alright, so what is your plan? You have plenty of time to conspire before you
Yeah.
go up there.
Did we want to go up and talk to them? Do we want to sneak in? Do we want to send Majesto in to see if they can see invisible things?
We do also have a D's.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how dangerous that could be for
Yeah,
him.
that could be. I don't know, my little guy. I don't want him. 1Ds versus potentially 3 hags is maybe a bit much.
I mean, you could also sneak in as well.
It's true. Be a giant spider.
Is it giant or is it just a regular spider?
No, it's like a foot. It's.
Giant spider is probably a large creature.
No, it's not giant. So it's has spiders go in like real life. It's a giant spider, but for like fantasy world, it's like a tiny spider.
You meant descriptively. It's big.
You can turn into a giant wolf spider, I think, which is the size like a puppy.
Yeah, so it's huge, but it could be huge. I could see that.
But you can just transform into like a mouse or a regular size spider.
Yes, a giant rat. No. Why is everything gotta be giant?
But
Well,
you can tell that the windmill, no, not very spacious.
Is
there
it in
a-
operation? Is it milling grain?
It is not milling grain.
are
It
there
is
any
unmoving.
signs of people inside, like a chimney or something going off?
Chimney and a
A
windmill.
chimney and a windmill. Look, it's Tim Burton's windmills.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the map. It's like no more than 4 squares at the base. 20 feet, so.
That's like a lighthouse.
It's a windmill. It's not meant for living. It's meant for, milling grain. Got some storage, and they have the mechanism that turns it. That's it.
I could have found a better place.
Have like
Uh,
beds.
I think that probably the best option we have at the moment is Grude and or D's do some reconnaissance.
I'm on it. So I guess I'm going to turn into. What I got. I guess I'll. Can I scroll it up with because they're more efficient for jumping. It's their tail.
Sure, yeah. You can transform to a squirrel.
Yeah, it's like that scene from the Stone. Jesus showing me the ropes. But yeah, I'll turn into a squirrel and we'll head on over.
Okay. So there are, they said, 3 floors. I think there might be 4. The very top is like the dome.
It's like a little attic thing.
Could
Yeah.
be. We'll find out.
Yeah, there's a. You see the artwork there, but I'll show you the official picture.
Licensed, copyrighted windmill of creepiness.
Here, I put it in Discord.
It's like a tower in Agrabah.
Yeah, it's got the
Yep, that's called.
domed,
Yeah,
domed
the little Hershey's Kiss kind of dome.
minaret top.
Usually, if you look, it kind of looks like it has a smiley face.
It's a slime from Dragon Quest.
Yeah, I was thinking of that too, especially since I posted a picture of an imp from Dragon Quest.
So is Grude gonna sneak around, or are we gonna go up and just say hi?
So I guess I'll go in. So Grude's and D's are gonna try and crawl up to the window above the, not in the door, but the window in like the second-ish area
Second
too.
floor.
Yeah.
My guess is that it's not like the floor isn't like a normal like standing seating area or anything like a room. It's probably just like, the higher up in the mechanism so they can repair it. That's gonna be my guess.
Well, like the inside of a clock tower kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so these windows are old enough that and like in such disarray that it's probably like glass missing and things like that. You're able to peek in, and they're not closed, so you'll be able to peek in at the very least. So a haggard, heavy-set old woman with a wrinkled face sweeps the floor, pushing around a few old bones and stirring up a cloud of white dust with her broom. She wears a blood-stained, flour-caked apron.
Oh, all of that is creepy.
The dirt cake windows allow a very little light to enter this 8-foot high chamber, most of which is taken up by a large millstone connected to a wooden gear shaft that raises through the ceiling in the center of the room. A stone staircase continues up toward the sound of cackling. And this is what the woman looks like. This is the old lady that you saw pedaling the cart. Pedaling the dream pastry.
Almost identical to what Bun posted.
Oh, yeah. She's like, just sweeping up, tidying up the place.
Creepy. Cool. Okay, so and then I guess look up to area. Looking in the window that way. So then just go crawl up to area 3 and see if there's more people or where the kids are at too.
Yeah. So on the 3rd level, you see 2 more women.
Okay.
One is squat and round, the other is kind of tall and like broad shoulders. And you do see 2 children. Wait, no, you don't see. Sorry.
Like.
Those bags of flour look like children.
Sorry, there's a number of crates and number of crates in this room, and these 2 women are just kind of conversing with each other, like bored.
All right, in that case, like a bit of a shock that there's 3 of them, and then that increases things 3 times. And they go up to, I guess, the final 4th area.
Yeah. Some artwork of the entire thing.
Oh.
Which is, I guess, basically what you see there, so. Okay, the top one. You've reached the windmill's peak, a domed chamber filled with old machinery. There's not much room to move around. Light slips into the attic through small holes in the wall. Nothing up here but a few abandoned bird nests.
I guess I'm gonna have to check down in area 1, because I didn't see them anywhere.
Area 1 actually has no windows.
Oh shoot. Okay, so
It's-
that's
it's-
still good.
It's the ground floor, yeah.
So with that info, Grude's gonna go back down to the group.
And I'll let you speak in animal form, so you don't have to waste it.
Okay.
His voice is still like wicked deep.
Yeah. Hey. Hey guys. And then just like let them know each of the floors has what. And then yeah, just, I can't find the kids.
Sorry.
Oh, that was it.
Perhaps there's a basement or something.
Good point.
I hope so, because I don't know where those kids are at.
What if the kids were turned into those stone statues behind the hill?
No, Vogelsuch. Those are obviously just a
You know,
bog standard version of praying to nature deities.
actually, I'll say this, 'cause I think this would be happening. Since it's such a small room and all that, on the room with the 2 other women, you do hear sobbing coming from somewhere in the room. You hear one of the old ladies going,
Shut your mouth. Like, shut your trap. Told you to be quiet.
Scratch that. It's on the third floor. The kids are there. I didn't see them, but I definitely heard them weeping. And if it's not the kids we're looking for, it's certainly some kids that need help. So I guess if we're going on the second floor, one of them's by themselves, but then the kids are left with the two, and they might panic and be mean to the kids, and then...
Should we go in and rescue the kids?
Yeah, we need to...
That is the intention.
Right now, I mean? Immediately?
You didn't happen to see a paper anywhere with all of their names on it? Like, maybe on their beds even?
Didn't really see beds.
The room that you saw the two women in did seem to be a bedroom.
Okay.
Also, it's like where they store a bunch of boxes.
Sounds like my bedroom.
Yeah, I don't...
Yeah, next to the closet is a heap of discarded clothing. A ladder climbs up to a wooden trapdoor in the 9-foot hall ceiling. A moldy bed with tattered canopies stands nearby.
I was a hag. Where would I keep a contract with our names on it? Might be somewhere not too obvious, like under a pillow or something. Maybe they hid it in the attic. I don't know, I'm really grasping for straws here.
You didn't mention anything about a first floor.
Oh, I couldn't see in there, no windows. So we'd have to, like, walk in. And then they probably know we're there.
Was there any way to get down there from the second floor?
Did I see, like, an obvious, like, staircase? Or...
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
There's a spiral staircase on the outer wall that leads up and down on all the floors.
Okay.
It's risky, but you can try sneaking your way past that. They may hear if we try to open a door.
It's my worry, too.
This doesn't look like the best quality of door.
I don't think they're too much scared about people sneaking up on them. Did I tell you about the apron? Covered in blood and flour. It's real weird, dude.
That makes me want to have their pastries even less. Unless she's very bad with a knife.
I mean, even still, the sanitation issues.
This hag's hut is not OSHA compliant.
Bill, Windmill Inspector.
It's like a Bugs Bunny skit.
Yeah.
Hello there.
I didn't call for a Windmill Inspector.
Children Inspector, I'm here to inspect all your children.
Truant officer.
Why aren't your children in school?
Telegram.
Andygram.
Telegram. Sure hope you aren't that land shark.
That's bringing me back. That's bringing everybody
I'm
back.
glad somebody got the reference.
Yeah.
What's that one?
It took me a moment, but I wrote it. It's a
Like-
classic SNL skit with Chevy Chase where he basically, they took, he's the shark from Jaws, but he's going around and kind of like trying to convince like babysitters and young women to just open up the doors just so he can eat them immediately.
Yeah, so he knocks on the door and is just like, anagram. You're not a canagram, you're that land shark. He goes, it's like, I'm a singing telegram. Just let me in.
To give an indication of time, this is like the 70s.
So, yeah, it's like the
Yeah.
70s, yeah.
Like just when Jaws was released.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That sounds like a really good skit.
Yeah, it's one of those continuing ones, so there's like 3 or 4 of them.
I'll share you a link to it after the game.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, what do you think we should all do? Like, distract, make the two go down, so that way they leave at least one maybe up with the kids.
Maybe some of us can. Okay, I know it's probably terrible, but I'm gonna say split the party. But hear me out. So what I'm thinking is, some of us, maybe me, Vogelsuch, Vio, we're gonna knock on the door and have a conversation with them. That'll lure them into the entrance of the house. That would empty out the rest of the house while we're talking to them about potentially striking up a deal, which we won't take. And that would hopefully give you enough time to ransack their house, steal children, and possibly find a contract.
I can't think of any other things we could do that don't lead directly into violence. So
Yeah,
I
and if something
like
does
this
happen,
plan.
the majority of us will be here, so we'll have a better chance of surviving. I guess Grude, you and Dee's sneak up while we're distracting and try to sneak them out. Look around for the contract.
What if only like the two upstairs? What if they don't go downstairs and like there's
You want
One or-
Victor to cast greater invisibility on any of you? Because he can
He
do
said he was
that.
going to use that.
Probably
He said
Grude.
Well, he can do it more than once, but he has to it only lasts a minute. So
oh god,
Oh. No.
And it's like he spends a minute and a half running down the hill to get him to cast the spell, and then by
Yeah.
the time he gets back,
yeah, but he can cast it for you, and in fly would be useful too. I'm just
Mhm.
if you need it.
Yep, I definitely forgot those were there.
I was gonna suggest if you can cast fly on Grude, but because then he might be able to just fly off into the air, Peter Pan style, carrying the children.
See how far away I can get in a minute.
Fly is I think 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, yeah, we could probably get all the way back home. You all would just have to deal with that. Hey, Victor,
Alright.
I might need that fly thing. you
He also
talked
goes,
about.
I also have Fireball. Ooh. Been waiting to use that.
That could be a good distraction.
Heard how overpowered it
While
is.
they're building. Vio will carry Grude back over because he's still a squirrel.
Yeah.
And hey,
Thanks, man.
could you cast fly on this squirrel, please? Just go with it.
Hey,
Oh.
Victor.
He was like, can't the squirrel climb?
Yes, but I'd like it to fly too.
It's for later.
If you have a plan, I can cast fly on this orc that turned into a squirrel.
Yeah, because then I'm gonna
It's-
fly the
so-
kids out of there.
How'd you know it was me? The squirrel is green.
Concentration up to 10 minutes. You touch a willing creature, the creature gains a flying speed of 60 feet for the duration. When the spell
Yeah,
ends, the target falls if it's still aloft unless it can stop the fall.
So, also concentration. So, drops concentration, you fall. It will also mean that he can't cast invisibility, because I believe that is also concentration.
But he doesn't need invisibility yet.
Yes,
Alright. You'll
just keep that in mind.
cast fly on you. So it lasts about 10 minutes. I have to think really, really hard.
Wait a minute. Now you're a flying squirrel.
Grude, you begin to levitate.
Just take to it like really naturally.
Yep. It's like zero gravity. You start twisting around.
Okay, whoa, cool. Oh, it's cool. Okay, and then I go left, right. Okay, got it.
Oh no, the controls are reversed since it's
It's inverted.
flight. Yeah. It's like you're flying a plane.
Yeah. All right, so off we go. I'll be in there. It's funny that I picked a squirrel because they don't exist here apparently, so that'd be like the most distracting thing to pick.
Yeah.
It's just a really
Good.
fluffy rat.
You're
Is it a tail
realistically,
on it?
you've probably picked a squirrel equivalent animal here. It's just the squirrel stat block.
No, it's a
No,
squirrel.
it's a squirrel.
Okay, squirrel.
So, zoom.
I'm sure at some point Grude is basically just turned into a squirrel to just just hang out with these.
Yeah.
Visit his house for a change.
Squirrel Grude
Yeah.
flies up to one of the top floors. I assume the third one.
Probably. And the rest of us will go to the front door and tentatively knock.
Okay. Try to keep the time in mind, so you do the spells. Right duration. So, are you waiting on the third floor window?
Yep.
Right. Who's knocking on the door?
I will.
Vogelsuch will just go up, and nobody else will.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
hold it then.
Vogelsuch go up and just knock, knock, knock.
Knock, knock, knock. Deez, I will say you notice, maybe keeping an eye on both of them, going up and down, up and down, up and down. You do see Morganitha kind of stop sweeping. It's like, oh, looks like we have a visitor. Let me see who it is. She puts down the broom, begins descending the stairs, one painfully slow step at a time.
Lumbago.
10 minutes, takes 10 minutes. Sorry.
No!
No,
Gotta wait for the little chair elevator to go up
Yeah.
the stairs so she can then sit down and go back down. Oh, drat, I left the house key at the top. Goes back up.
But a moment later, the creaky door opens up and you do see Morganitha. He goes, oh, I remember you from the other day. Did you enjoy my dream pastries? They're a big hit in Vallaki.
That's why I came. I am unable to consume pastries.
Yes, there is something a little odd about you, isn't there?
I don't have a stomach.
Not quite all there, are you?
No, like the joke just goes right over his head, and he's like, I suppose not.
A little in this life, a little in the next, it seems.
Are you familiar with others like me?
Oh, I've been all around, selling my pastries. Nothing quite like you. Oh, what a shame that you can't taste them. They are quite delicious. What about your friends? She gestures to them. Did they enjoy the pastries?
Oh yes, quite.
Minerva is just like staring wide-eyed at Vogelsuch, being like, "Why are you improving, like riffing? Like we didn't plan for this. Oh no, now we've got to talk." And so she's just like deer in headlights, like, "Yes."
It's it's an acting director. Oh no, he's ad-libbing.
How could old Morganitha help you today? What brings you to my windmill?
We were wondering if we could place an order for a large number of them.
I would be more than happy to. In fact, I have a batch going right now. They're not quite ready, of course, but if you want to hang around.
Vogelsuch will like just look inside the ground floor. What does he see? So you actually haven't seen the ground floor, and I'm standing at the door. And
Yeah,
look around.
The ground floor has been converted into a makeshift kitchen, but the room is filthy. Baskets of old dishware are piled everywhere. Adding to the clutter is a peddler's cart, a chicken coop, so you hear the clucking of chickens, which I am realizing more and more exist in Barovia. A heavy wooden trunk, and a pretty wooden cabinet with flowers painted on its doors. In addition to the clucking of chickens, you hear toads croaking. The sweet smell of pastries blend horribly with the stench that burns your nostrils. The awful odor comes out of an open, upright barrel in the center of the room. Warmth issues from the brick oven against one wall, and a crumbling staircase ascends the wall across from it. You do hear voices from the top floor.
Well, that's rather impressive. I mean, you're able to do all of this yourself.
It's like, oh, no, my daughters live here as well. They help me bake the pastries.
Oh, you're a mother.
Oh, yes. 2 beautiful daughters, Bella and Ophelia.
Oh, that's great. I would love to come in and meet them.
Yes. Beautiful, you say. I would indeed love to meet them.
Oh, they're single.
Do hags do that? Do they? Oh no, I guess they do. Okay, yep. Sorry.
Hope you didn't say that out loud.
No, I meant old hags. The normal kind. Yeah.
Oh my, you.
It's like, unfortunately, they are occupied at the moment, far too busy with their chores.
How much seating is in this first floor?
Not much.
Is there 3 seats or horizontal surfaces?
So you're actually going in there?
Yeah. I feel like it's the safest for Grude and D's if we are physically.
Oh, on the top floor?
No, so if we go in and like hang around while she's like getting the dream pastries ready, to like distract her. Like, are we gonna stand at the door while she makes them? I don't think so.
You're just putting it in order, aren't you? Because like, you said they're doing chores, but it just sounds like they're being.
Well, you're not here right now.
I know.
You're
But
looking.
I'm watching.
You're like Grude sees the 2 sisters, not the 2 daughters, which I guess are sisters, on the 3rd floor, definitely not doing chores.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But you know, the second
really
floor is now empty.
So we're gonna jump down to the 2nd floor and see if we can break in and just look around.
Yep. It's in such a state where it's easy enough where you can slip in like one of the a broken window or part of the side that loose brick, something like that. And this is the bone mill room. Give me a quick investigation check.
Yes, sir. Am I good at this? Oh, could be worse.
17. I'm gonna say it's gonna take a few minutes to probably search the room. So maybe like 5 minutes.
Okay, we're doing it.
Yeah. Are you gonna stay a squirrel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it'd be the quickest way to get around and be the quietest.
Okay.
It's a squirrel wearing heavy armor.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll do that after I look, though.
You hear a voice next to you.
Looking for something, aren't you?
As you hear Majesto.
Yeah, smart.
Thanks, Majesto.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
Hey, after, do you want to like cause a ruckus, and then maybe at least 1 or 2 of the sisters might come downstairs?
I love causing ruckuses.
Okay, not now, but like.
Ah, I'm gonna help myself. There's so much to ruckus.
Oh my god.
You notice a few things stand out. The millstone, the large stone circle, which rotates to turn the gears, which does have 4 wooden spokes coming from it. There is a keyhole in the side, and you notice that one of the pieces of wood protruding from the millstone is longer than the other, and it seems to be segmented.
Like it's a key?
Imagine like a broom handle,
Okay.
but the broom handle's been like, like when you trying to think. It's like a Lincoln log. It has little
Okay,
grooves.
yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But it's like unnaturally longer than the other one. It's like noticeably different.
Just go look at it.
Okay. Yeah, you take a closer look. It looks like this piece of wood has perhaps been broken, put back together. A pole, that's the word I'm thinking of. It's like a pole.
Post.
Post. No, post holds something up.
Yeah, fair.
You want
Is
to
it
do,
something that?
want to do
sorry.
anything else before we jump to the other people, or?
No, I think while it jumps to the other people, I'll think of other things to
Okay.
do.
So, we're going to have to says, unfortunately, my daughters are busy at the moment, but I can relay them your compliments if you wish.
Oh, such a pity. Though
I don't see a
Oh,
ring on your finger.
this is true. You seem to be a bit of a matchmaker, aren't you?
Oh. Only the best for my girls.
And I'm here too because I go both ways. If that's applicable in this situation.
You know, I never asked.
Please, Vogel, be confused by that. Which directions are those?
He's not that literal.
One thing he does get is euphemisms.
Yes, they're very young.
How many dream pastries would you like to order?
How many are you making in your batch right now?
We haven't been back to Valaki in several days, so we've gathered up quite the surplus. We should have at least 2 dozen. Saying a gold apiece.
Do you have any free samples?
Oh, you naughty little... You naughty one. I already gave you the free sample.
I never eat mine.
Well, that's on you, isn't it?
Well, we were actually hoping for a bit more than that. You see, we found several people that were rather interested in them within town, and we're hoping to share them around.
Oh, you're not trying to hawk in on my territory, are you?
Oh, of course not. After all,
I own the market on dream pastries, dear.
we don't have the recipe, after all.
It's a family secret, you see.
Of course.
I don't like
using middlemen. I'd rather sell directly to my customers. It's the old lady feel, you see. The charm.
There was a shop in town that was trying to sell its own dream pastries. I believe they called them daydream buns.
Daydream buns?
Daydream
What ridiculousness
buns.
is... What ridiculous... Excuse me, what ridiculous is this? What were they selling them for?
They were trying to cash in on the popularity of their own knockoff version, made with, I think, almond extract.
Obviously not as delicious as yours, but
A little bit
Nothing
of
beats
honey.
the original.
no, never.
They always come back for my dream pastries. Nothing else gives you quite the sensation as mine. Of course you would know that, right, dearie?
I wouldn't, but
Yeah,
I enjoy pretending that I do.
she's looking at Vio
Oh.
and Minerva.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Oh, what dreams did you experience after you ate my pastries? I must know.
I dreamed that I was back outside of where I grew up. The clear skies and the green pastures.
He goes, oh, it sounds lovely. Imagine returning to it night after night. Just one bite of my pastries.
I wish I could dream.
I wasn't talking to you. Think what about you, my dear? And she turns to Minerva.
Oh,
Oh,
Yes,
sorry to startle you.
oh no, that was it's me. I'm the problem. I dream of
Oh, you look on edge, dear. Is everything alright?
I'm just a very stressed person. So that's why
You
I
know
need
what's good
those
for
dream
relieving stress? It's dream pastries.
Yes, that's why we're here. I dream of being back at my workshop at home and having all the properly sized screwdrivers.
Oh, you must.
I know
miss-
most
Sad.
people don't understand how important this is to me.
You must.
But
miss
this is a
it
very
dearly.
subjective dream, and you completely brings me to peace.
Why don't you guys make deception checks? Yeah.
It sounds lovely. First batch.
27.
Yeah. Yeah, she believes you. Meanwhile, on the second floor, Grude, what are you up to?
So I guess we just saw that one thing, but nothing with like contracts or anything. Probably up in the bedroom.
Nope,
I
just
wonder-
the millstone was with the oddities.
Yeah. I think we're gonna. I kind of want to ask the imp to be a little ruckusy as I like go upstairs to the third floor to see because if we were to hit the ceiling of the second floor, it would make more noise in the third floor than it would in the first. Sure, you just hear everything in a tiny thing.
What the heck are you talking about?
I'm just trying to figure out how we can get the people upstairs to come down here so that way we can go up there and then get the people out. There we go. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think we can make this.
a little
That
poof.
ruckus.
A little puffy appears, and he appears as a crow. perches on the millstone, on one of the poles of the millstone. He goes, "I can cause a distraction."
Yeah, that's like kind of what I want. Do you want to try it?
Maybe they can chase me down to the bottom.
Yeah, that would actually be amazing. I'm okay. Give me like few seconds to just get up on the third. Get out the third floor. So I'm up the fourth floor window. Third floor window. Got it. It'll probably just take me I'll get there in like 15 seconds or something. Yeah, I'm real fast.
Okay, pretty fast.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. And then so Grude's just gonna go up and like wait by the window and see if what goes on.
Okay, yep.
We're just letting Bees know what's going on. I guess he's there with me the whole time.
Yeah, he's like waiting outside the window. He has a little hand in his face, like, oh god, you make a horrible squirrel. Maybe he's jealous that he can't fly.
Yes.
Yeah, but a
It could
moment
be
later. Oh, god.
I was gonna be like, it'd be like Tails from Sonic, and the Tails like.
You're really flying up there with your tail.
Yeah. Ready to go.
Right after a moment, Jesto in his crow form flies up to the third floor and just starts going caw, caw, caw. Becomes just ramming into things, like getting into the two sisters' hair.
They're like, who let the crow in here? It's like, did you leave the window open, Bella? It's like, no, sister, no.
It's like
I'm causing a ruckus.
and it starts like bumping into things, like knocking stuff over. Bumps into one of the crates. You hear like the crying kind of like a little yelp, like, oh, what was that? And then the crow will grab something. Will grab like a tattered piece of cloth from one of their dresses and like try to rip it off and fly off with it and start flying downstairs.
It's like, we need to go get it. We don't want it to disturb Mother.
And they head down the stairs.
As soon as that happens, going in the window, going to where the sobbing is. And then I think I'm gonna do it because I'm a squirrel. I can't carry the kids as a squirrel.
No, you are a squirrel.
Okay. Wait, but I could change into a bear and then fly away.
You can also turn into yourself.
I know, but then they know who I am.
So you're gonna open it up. These kids are gonna see a bear.
No, I guess the squirrel first. I come up with. Oh, yeah, they're scared. I guess I'll do it as Grude.
Oh no, they've discovered your secret identity.
Yeah.
How many wall shapes do you have? Is it 2 or 3?
I think I have.
You probably want to save at least one.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll just pop back out.
Yes, you can absolutely turn into a bear if you want, but you can't.
I think at this point we're screwed. But
you want to get through the window.
Okay.
And you would be a bear.
Wind up Winnie the Poohing the window where he gets stuck halfway through.
Yeah. Oh bother. Yeah. So I guess I'll become Druid. Find the kids and be like, "Hey kids, don't be scared. I'm trying to save you." And these.
Yeah. So you start checking the crates, and inside you do see a boy of around 5 and a girl of around 7 or 8, and they're like huddled in the corner.
Oh
one of these boxes.
We gotta get you out of here.
Who are you?
I'm friends with your dad. He sent me to get you.
Do you remember his dad's name?
No, I don't know. As a person, as a history check.
Check the summary real quick.
Oh yeah, I could do that. Oh, we did too many things.
I don't expect you to remember it. Their names are Myrtle and I'm sorry. The father's name was Franz.
Yeah. Okay.
The children's names are Myrtle and Theodore.
I start checking
I
the
just
summary
found
to try to find it, and I'm reading. Wait a minute! Start talking about Zablina doing the Witchlight Carnival, and reading the wrong summary.
Like when did we? Well, these are the wrong hags.
Oh, happens all the time. Yeah. So I'm gonna get you out of here.
I'm guessing
Go to-
you say their names so they can trust you. A little
Yeah,
more.
Myrtle and Theodore.
Yeah. What about the old ladies?
Oh, we're getting away from those people. We'll deal with them later.
Okay. How are we gonna get out?
Shh, be quick. And then, but as the kind of like hand the arms up for him to like climb up on him,
Mhm.
and then open up the window and then just fly away.
Yeah, like you have them underneath among
Yeah.
your shoulders.
Yeah, just like under. Yeah.
You're able to fly a safe distance away. We were completely unnoticed. Meanwhile, barreling down the stairs, these two other women come down to the ground floor as Majesto flies past them with a "Caw!" and flies out the door. And these two other women kind of quickly gain their composure. And a little moment of panic. Morgana kind of looks at the crow in the door and goes, it's like, oh, here are my daughters now. It's like, Bella, Ophelia. It's like, we have guests interested in our dream pastries. And the tall, broad-shouldered one goes, hello. The squat one is, pleased to meet you.
Minerva does a curtsy even though she's wearing pants.
Yeah.
So there's holding an imaginary thing like, oh, good to meet you.
Vogelsuch touches the brim of his hat and goes, "Ladies."
Morgana goes, it's like, have a little disturbance upstairs. Sorry, Mother, one of the crow must have gotten through the window, causing a disturbance.
That was rather
Crow?
startling.
But everything is okay otherwise. Right, my dears?
Have animals been getting in here while you are baking pastries?
So, I keep them away from the kitchen.
That's very
Yeah.
important.
Yes, it's important to have a sanitary kitchen. And it just kind of glances around the room and ignores all the signs of otherwise.
Just staring at those plates.
But these two other ones are like awkwardly kind of standing there, not knowing quite sure how to act. Back to Grude. You are now at the children's safety. I imagine maybe you went where Lady Fiona
Yeah,
is
back
hiding.
with the
Yeah.
50 numbers.
It's like, but Lady Fiona's like, oh, come here, my dears. You're safe here. And they like, I mean, they look like they've been through a lot. Saying, they took us from our daddy. Put us in little small places. They kept feeding us and feeding us, even though we didn't want to eat anymore. You're safe now. Don't worry, children. My name's Fiona. I live in Vallaki. I'll take you back to your father.
Does Grude have enough time to fly back and look
Uh.
through? Probably not.
60 feet. A few dashes, 120 feet. I'm gonna say you can get to the window you want, but it's gonna run out. As
Okay.
you get to the window, yeah. And you won't be a squirrel anymore. You'll be a
Yeah, a Grude. Okay, I guess I'll just stay here because I think that'll...
Well, you still have to find that contract.
I know. Okay, maybe. Okay, I'll just go there.
So, I believe you finally have a contract to find, Mr. Grude.
Yeah. 1 second. Just like flies off.
Wow.
I can't carry 2 children and a piece of paper.
It's like in Skyrim when you go over capacity by picking up one little thing.
You are over encumbered.
All right, you're easily enough be able to open the window without anyone noticing.
Okay, and then just rummaging.
But this is like you don't know how long you're gonna be. You're gonna be downstairs.
I guess always keeping an ear out for some creep upstairs. That's all I can do.
Yeah, you're hearing the conversation downstairs, but you're now in the room with the
Crates, right?
No, well, if you want to, yeah.
Yeah. Because I already checked the second room.
Vio is probably.
Oh yeah. So wait, the second room because now I'm full size. I can mess with the thing.
Yeah, if you want.
Yes.
Vio's probably trying to extend the conversation by well, tell me about yourselves, and trying to speak to the daughters and such.
Yeah.
What are you looking for in a partner?
I'm not quite sure how to react to that.
Minerva gets a jab in the side.
Yeah, Morganus is like nudges one of them. It's like tell them about your perfect man or woman
What a way to out your
or
child.
whatever's in between. I want grandchildren.
I don't care as long as I get more kids.
Yeah. Okay, which room are you searching?
I'm searching looking at the weird thing that stuck out to me in the windmill thing.
Okay. You realize that
This whole time I'm like very frantic, like, oh my god.
you're looking around. It's like, oh my god, where am I? You can tell it's this wooden pole has been broken, put back together, and that one part near the end is looks like a different piece of wood than what's on either end of it.
Can I try taking it apart? Like,
Sure, yeah.
yeah,
Maybe it's a scroll case.
that's what I was thinking.
It's actually wouldn't require like a strength check. Like this is something that's obviously hidden, but able to get access to if they needed to. And it is a hollowed out piece of wood that's been attached to this other piece of wood, and a small iron key falls out of it.
That's for the other windmill part.
Yep. Well, there's a keyhole in the millstone.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put it in that. I'm moving like escape room fast.
Yeah. Oh, well, like what were the clues?
Oh my gosh.
Like what did the video say? All right, so you're putting these escape room clues together at record speed. The iron key does fit into the keyhole. You see the following. Most notably, folded up, is a sheet of human skin that has a contract written upon it. Do you know Infernal? Infernal. Probably not.
Nope.
Never know.
Do not.
Yeah. You don't recognize the language on it.
Okay.
Can't read it.
I'm still stealing it.
You do see a small charm. It's a golden medallion adorned with 3 interlocking rings engraved at its center. And there's some personal goods. There's
Still
some
his-
pieces of cheap jewelry. 6 pieces of cheap jewelry.
Sure, yeah. I like I was like filling like his bathrobe pockets with it.
She's pulling it all up. You think it might be worth some money?
Mm-hmm. So as soon as I then going out, so the windows are directly above from the door that they're all standing at.
There's like 4 windows on either,
Okay, so
on,
maybe
either, on all 4 sides.
There's no, yeah. So I'm gonna. How high up am I? Am I 20 feet?
Second story, so maybe around 10.
Oh, because it's tiny. Because I'm gonna see if I can like jump down.
Yeah. I
Or,
think
like climb down maybe.
you
Or-
start doing damage around 20 feet. This
Okay.
definitely isn't 20 feet.
Every 10 feet is a 1d6.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you can jump
You
off
can
with
obviously change that for size of animals and stuff, because
Yeah.
smaller things can
Then-
land.
And then I guess Grude's gonna. From where I'm standing and where like everyone else is hidden, is it possible with me not flying to go back into the woods without being seen, or should I just pretend I was there the whole time?
You can go from the back of the windmill. They will notice you.
Okay. So that's what my plan is.
Yep. And they're too preoccupied. Cece did this really quick. They're too preoccupied downstairs to kind of hear you. May hear a little creak when you step on the raffling. It's like,
Yeah.
did you hear something? And Theo's like, it's like, oh, I love your hat. You know, I have a hat just like it, but it's black.
Did the crow get out? Or just
Yeah, he flew out. He flew out
out,
the
yeah.
window or something.
as
the
Grude's
door.
running away, he's gonna be like, Majesto, if you're near me, could you tell them it's all good?
It's like, I can try. And poof.
Okay.
Yeah, and as you jump down, you will take 6
Oof.
6
That's
bludgeoning
fine.
damage.
I'm doing a lot right now.
You forgot to roll.
Just imagine this big, like, 7-foot tall orc who's just as wide is like is running around and trying to
Just
go
all
stealth.
damage.
Yeah.
Like right to his knees.
Yeah, instead of superhero landing, he ended up legs spread apart, taking it full on, knees down instead of.
Yeah, but you have this medallion, the contract, and a bunch of jewelry stuffed into your robes.
Yeah, I sure do. And then I run into hopefully get to Fiona and
Yeah.
everyone else.
Dear me, you look very much out of breath. Did you
I
find
can't read this, but I think this is what we need.
Can
did
did you find the contract?
I think so. It's made out of human skin, so it's cool if you don't want to touch it.
Please, it's not my first infernal contract. He
Hey,
takes it. Actually,
Ew, it's all slimy.
She is a politician.
this is standard Burgermeister. Everything in Velaki signed on human skin. It's
Grude just runs over and both hands on knees and just takes out his pocket and extends it one arm, still hunched over, breathing at her.
Victor will see the medallion. He goes, oh, I recognize that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I'm gonna tell you. Any moment now. It is says that is a charm of mass heroism. So that will give you any number of allies the benefits of a potion of heroism. Once. He says, my father once had one. He cast a spell to increase performance.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm pretty jazzed about this.
The worst thing you could do right now is put that on and then walk over to the windmill wearing it.
So for 1 hour, you will have 10 temporary hit points, whoever affected by it, and you are under the effects of a bless spell, which is 1d4 to any attack rolls or saves, and it won't be concentration.
Wow.
Nice.
Yep.
Totally worth it. Not even
Sure,
for the
add
children,
that
just for that.
But
Add that to your inventory.
yep, Lady Fiona is looking over the contract. She goes, "This is indeed the infernal contract, where these 3 individuals cannot harm each other, betray each other." And she starts reading it off. She's like, "Infernal contracts are always such legalese and gibberish, but they are thorough. Ah, here are the names." She will say,
Hello, Mary Carol.
Morganitha Stormreaver, Belladonna Sunbane, and Ophelia Wormwiggle.
Let's kill some hags. Honestly, Grude's just super jazzed about the amount of things. This is the most things he's ever got done in like his entire life, and he did it in like 10 minutes.
I
He's
recommend
such a good boy.
saying, once we perform the spell, we'll position ourselves on the periphery of this hill. The barrier will be erected for about 10 minutes or so. That means whatever's inside can't leave if they choose to travel to a different plane. Victor goes, "I guess these hags have the ability to do so." Yes, I know, Victor. Hopefully you keep them occupied so none of my faction members will be harmed. You must maintain concentration on this spell the entire time. And once you obtain the Heartstone, we can be on our way. Be it from killing them or making a deal with them. It's up to you.
Well, I'm right here right now, so it's not really up to me.
Yeah. A moment later, Majesto will poof back, saying, "It's like, okay, I'll let them know." I whispered really softly in one of their ears. Meanwhile,
We cut to them.
I was about to say,
It's a
meanwhile,
Gilligan cut.
VO, you hear,
Okay, we're ready.
Ugh.
starts like licking in your ear.
You got earwax. No.
Sorry, I'm cleaning it out.
Mosquitoes around here, it seems. I was gonna, after talking. Now we can get the route or whatever it was we were looking for. It's Grude is all. Oh, that. Yeah, I saw it on a countertop upstairs. Wait, where were we supposed to get that?
Saying, Bella, Ophelia, you turn to your chores. There's much to do before the dream pastries are ready. And she turns to you all. And I am afraid that the dream pastries aren't quite ready yet, but I do promise to have more ready for you next time I return to Vallaki.
Well, thank you. If possible, we will be eager to purchase some once you return back to town. In a few days.
And tell whoever's running that counterfeit business that Granny Morganitha does not appreciate competition. She closes the door. Slams it.
Minerva just goes, "Oh, I didn't. I know. I thought
Let's step away from the door before we.
Yes.
That.
Yes.
Now, on the way down the hill.
Can't wait for those dream pastries," and then we really briskly walk away.
Dream pastries. I love eating them.
All the time.
Suggest just out of spite. Maybe we should suggest the toy maker Zablinski go into maybe a baking job.
I was just thinking that we get back to town. It's like, good news! Zablinski's got into the baking business.
I thought of something.
I call them daytime buds. Zablinski original.
Edible toys.
I was just making it up. I don't even know what's going on. That's a complete, amazing coincidence.
I call it Play-Doh.
Now, if only Blinksky knew how to bake. That's a Blinksky. Oh. All right. So, you have once you return to the woods where everyone's hiding. Lady Fiona does inform you, that she does have the true names. That we're able to perform the ritual, whenever you're ready.
Good job, Grude.
Still breathing.
And Majesto. Let's make sure Majesto has the credit as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was great. Got to cause
Yeah.
a ruckus.
Dude, you're such good at causing ruckus.
Yeah, we should team up.
So good at annoying people. Really, really
He's still
good
cleaning out
at
your
annoying
ears.
people, and is currently cleaning, doing a finger wiggle in the ear to get the saliva out.
Won't take long for them to realize that the
Probably
children are
by
missing.
now.
So I suggest we hurry. And she snaps her fingers and gestures to her. And they are cultists, so make no mistake about it. And like points to the to 5 points around the hill. Saying once you shall start performing the ritual whenever you're ready, you can make yourself up the hill. And Victor goes, and I'll remain invisible, provide you support with my magic, and if they do try to dispel the barrier, I will use my highest level spell to counter it. But by no means should they know that they're actually in danger. I believe it's better if we put them in a false sense of security.
Surprise murder.
Good idea.
This may be our only chance to get Stella back. So without that Heartstone, we won't. I don't think there's any other way. Don't want to resort to violence. They may be able to part with it, but you will have to make a deal. But obviously we're not going to get into a battle tonight. So
I'm sure we could do it in 5 minutes.
yeah, I'm sure we can have a Hag Coven battle in 20 minutes. No problem.
Yeah, they're just old ladies. What could they do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna cook us to death?
Yeah, turn us into pastries?
Just that Majin Buu fight from Dragon Ball Z.
I turn you to cookie!
Oh. Oh dear.
Guess we'll call it for the night.
I was sad that we didn't get to. I was hoping that I could use my comprehend languages spell to read the contract, but we had an expert with us.
Yeah, an expert in reading infernal runes.
Yeah, she's definitely not a warlock.
Oh no, she's not hiding it. She's definitely a warlock.
I was being sarcastic.
Yeah. Probably not in like the more traditional sense, I imagine. But she does,
What precisely is a quote-unquote traditional warlock?
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't think, like, it's her patron, like, D&D warlocks are. But she's definitely a worshiper, and she gains power from it in some way, so. Ezra, the goddess of the mist.
Honestly, the difference between warlocks and clerics is about the same thing as organized church and cults.
It's not untrue.